Students, whatever homework is given to you, you have to submit it on the very next day between 8 am to 1 pm to the given WhatsApp number, and it is compulsory to submit your homework as your attendance will be marked on the basis of your submission.
Dear students, myself R.S. Goswami from KGK Higher Secondary School. Today, I am going to teach Economics of Standard 12, and in Economics, chapter number 5, Poverty. In last video, types of poverty and indicators of poverty has explained. Now today, here topic is causes of poverty. So here, historical reasons, rural poverty, economic factors and social reasons and others. Now we see here one by one why poverty is there in India. So first one is the historical reason. Student, as you know, India was one of the leading country in the world in trade and commerce in ancient time. So many goods of India were exported in abroad. So the prosperity of India in the world well spread. In agriculture field, industrial field, India developed much. But the problem arise after Europeans came in India. And as you know, British East India Company, they came in India for trade and commerce. And after that, they became the ruler. Near about 190 years, they ruled over India. And as you know, they exploited India at the higher level. Now here, British East India Company purchased the raw material from the farmers at the lower cost and took in Britain, and there they prepared finished goods and sold out at the higher rate in Indian market. They forced farmers to sell the raw material or the agricultural product only to the British East India Company, and they purchased the raw material at the lower rate or lower cost, and because of that the condition of farmer become poor and poor. Other side, the laborers, they work more and get less, and because of that their condition become day by day poorer and poorer. After that, zamindari system was there. You know, the owner of the land called zamindar. So zamindar had land, but they didn't anything to increase the production in agriculture because they were the landlord. So they didn't do anything, and the farmer who only work in the field, so they also didn't any knowledge or they hadn't any interest to increase the production because they are only the worker or the labor, so they get very less amount. So in this way, income very low and they become the victim of poverty. Then jewel policy. In India, at the time of British rule, there was jewel policy. That means the Nawabs hadn't the authority, only the responsibility. Other side, the British East India Company had authority but not a responsibility. British East India Company forced to the farmers to sell the raw material only to the British East India Company. And British East India Company sold the finished good at the higher rate. So here, British East India Company purchased raw material at the lower rate and sold out finished goods at the higher rate. So here, policies are different. One thing again, the industries of British East India Company, the policies were different, and the industries of Indian company, the policies were different. So in this way, the income of the Indian people become lower and lower and they become the victim of poverty. So this is the historical reason for the poverty. After that, rural poverty. Why in the rural area poverty is there? First one, the natural cause. You know, India is an agrarian country. The main occupation of Indian farmer is agriculture. Most of the people depend on agriculture, and agriculture depend on rain, weather condition. So, if the rain is good, weather condition is good, then the production increase. But in India, rainy season is irregular and uncertain. Other side, flood is there, weather condition different, and because of that, the production decrease, and that's why the income of the farmer decrease. They haven't enough income, by that they can satisfy their primary requirement, and because of that, they are living below poverty line. So one of the reason is natural causes, rain, drought, flood, then weather condition. All these are the factors which affect the production in agriculture. And in India, most of the farmers depend on rain, and rain is uncertain and irregular. And other side, there is a less facility of irrigation, and that's why production in agriculture less or low. And because of that, the income of the farmer also low. So they can't satisfy their primary requirement by that income, and that's why they live in below poverty line. Second one, demographic factors, that means the high population. After independence, there is an expand in population. That means because of health facility, death rate decrease. But other side, birth rate high. And so, the population rate is high. The size of family is big. So the farmers who are doing the farming, they do not have enough income. By that, they can satisfy their primary requirement. Because most of the people depend on agriculture, and the family size is big. So here, because of high population, out of total production, most of the production they consume for themselves. And that's why they can't sell the rest of the production. And that's why the problem of poverty is there. So in the rural area, two reasons. One is the natural cause, second is the demographic factors. Now the third, economic factors. As you know, the main occupation of Indian is agriculture. Agriculture depends on rain, and rain is uncertain and irregular. That's why the production is less. Because the production is less, their income is less. Because of that, they are living below poverty line. The Indian farmers always poor. There is a saying: Indian farmers born in debt, live in debt, and die in debt. Now the first is low agriculture productivity. What is the meaning of agriculture productivity or land productivity? Per hectare production in a year. Per hectare production in a year is known as productivity of land. So in India, this is very low. Why? The main reason is there is no facility of irrigation. The farmers depend on rain. Second thing, the farmers are illiterate, so they haven't any idea of the scientific method in agriculture. Then they do not use fertilizer or chemical fertilizer. Local fertilizer they use, domestic. Then pesticide or insecticide, machinery. The Indian farmers, all these factors do not use in the agriculture production. And that's why the productivity of the land is low. If the productivity is low, then their income is less. Their income is less, then they can't satisfy their primary requirement, and because of that, they are living below poverty line, or they face the problem of poverty. So first one is the low agriculture productivity. Second one, unequal distribution of income and property. Unequal distribution of income and property in the rural area. One side zamindar, that means landlord. Other side farm worker or tenant. One thing you remember, one side landlord, other side farm worker. Landlord have lands and the farm worker without land. Landlord haven't any interest to increase the production because they give the land to the tenant or farm worker to cultivate. Other side, the farm worker or tenant haven't any interest to increase the production. Why? Because they have fixed share given by landlord. So one side, the authority of the land or ownership of the land in other hand, and other side, the increase the productivity in the other hand. So both haven't the interest to increase the production, and that's why the production is less. Second thing, unequal distribution of land and property. Landlord have much land, but they haven't the interest to increase the production because they give to the land to the tenant or the farm worker to cultivate, and the most of the share they get. Other side, the farm worker and tenant, they haven't interest to increase the production because most of the share is taken by landlord. The farmers or the farm worker get the less share, so they haven't interest to increase the production. Here, unequal distribution of land and property also. So the poor people become more and more poorer, and other side, the rich people become more and more rich. So because of unequal distribution of land and property, the poor people become poor. Because of that, their income less, they can't satisfy their primary requirement, and because of that, their income less. After that, minimal development of small and cottage industries. In rural area, most of the people depend on agriculture, and agriculture depend on rain, and the rain is uncertain and irregular. So only in the rainy season, that means 3 or 4 months, they get the work, and rest of the month they become jobless. And in the rural area, minimal development of small and cottage industries. Small and cottage industries is the main source for generating the employment. But in the rural area, there is a less development of cottage industries and small industries. So, the workers who are working in the agriculture field get the work or job or employment only in 3 or 4 months in the rainy season, and the rest of the month they become jobless, they become unemployment, and because of that their income low, and because of low income they can't satisfy their primary requirement, and because of that they live below poverty line. After that, price rise. As you know, every year the price rise, and because of that the income of the poor people decrease indirectly. For example, suppose the price of X is 100 rupees and the people have 1000 rupees. So here 10 unit they can purchase. But suppose the price become 100 to 200, then only 5 units. So indirectly their income decrease. So because of price rise, the income of the poor people indirectly decrease, and because of that their purchasing power decrease, and because of that they can't satisfy their primary requirement, and that's why they are living below poverty line. So price rise is one of the cause for creating the poverty. After that, unemployment. In the last lecture I already explained, both are interrelated. Poverty is cause for unemployment, and unemployment is the cause for poverty. Because of unemployment, people do not get the work, and because of that their income low, and because of low income their purchasing power is also low, and they can't satisfy their primary requirement, and they are living below poverty line. So here poverty and unemployment both are interrelated. Now the fourth one, social reason. First one is the low level of education. Indian farmer is poor and illiterate, and because of that they can't use the scientific method in agriculture field. They use the old method in agriculture field, and because of that low productivity in the land. Because of illiteracy they haven't any idea of scientific method used in agriculture, and because of that low rate of production, and that's why because of low productivity their income less, because of less income purchasing power less, they can't satisfy their primary requirement, and they are living below poverty line. So low level of education is also a reason for poverty. After that, gender inequality. From ancient time to now there is a partiality with the woman. Even present time, at the top level management we see very less number of women, just like the director, general manager, You see, you visit the bank and find out how many women in the post of manager in the bank. Very less. So the condition of the woman is very weak, and that's why they face the problem of poverty. Because the women always get the inferior type of job, not the top level job. So this type of the partiality we have seen from ancient time to present time, and because of that they face the problem of poverty in India. So friends, these are the reasons for the poverty. One is the historical reason, and in historical India was well developed. Then British East India Company came to in India. Then what is the condition? Then Zamindari system and wealth policy. Because of that historical reason, India became the poor and we face the problem of poverty. Second one is the rural poverty, natural causes and demographic factors. Demographic means high population. Then the economic factor, low agricultural productivity, unequal distribution of land and property, then minimum development of small and cottage industries, price rise and unemployment. After that, social reason, low level of education and gender inequality. In the board examination, they ask not the all reasons, they ask the economic reason or social reasons, not all. So, but you prepare the all, and which kind of the question they will ask, by you that you answer. Thank you very much.